Hi everyone, Rainey here, and today I'm going to start building the strongback. And one important part of building the strongback is to be able to have long 2x8s, longer than what I can carry in my car. So I'm going to show you today how to scarf two smaller 2x8s to get a big one. Okay, usually you cut wood to make it smaller. I'm cutting it to make it bigger. All right. So like I said, I'm working on the strongback today. You can see I've cut all the different legs and the cross members, and over here I got tons of them. So what I need to do is take two pieces of wood. I'm going to move this over here a second. Kind of like what you'll see right here. Here's one of them I already cut, and I'm going to take another one that I already cut right here. So one of them fits on the other. If you can see this little thing right over here. One fits right on the other like this, okay? And the whole idea is I have a little hole here in the middle. You see that? And what I do is I take a couple wedges and let's see, put one wedge in here. And I take this other wedge, and as I put it in, what it does is it tightens up on everything. Okay, let me get that back in there. You can see it's getting tight already. You have to get it straight, all lined up. I'm not putting it together permanently now. This is just to show you, because I'm going to actually glue it. And as you start to drive this in more and more and more, what it does is it pushes each part away from each other. So what I'm going to do is hammer on these, and it's going to get them all perfectly so they're one long. So what I have now is I took two 8-foot pieces of 2x8, and you can see it made a 2x8 by 16. And this is going to be very solid. This is how they do actually roof joists in building houses. So I need this for the top of my strongback, because my strongback I need to have two pieces in the front that are, let's see, I believe 16 foot long, and the two in the back are going to be 20 foot long, okay? So that's the only way I can do it, because like I said, my car won't hold it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I cut this. I'm going to draw it out for you, and so you can see, and this is the end product of how it looks. So let's get to that. All right, the wood is split over here, going right through, so I'm going to work on this side of the wood. So to get that cut, what we need to do is we need to measure 3 times. This whole thing will be 3 times the width of the board. So this is a 2x8. 8-inch wood is a 2x8 is actually 7.5 inches. So we're looking at 22.5 inches long. So I'm going to make a mark about 22.5 inches long, just so I know how far I'm going. Okay. That's the end. So I'm going to have this much on this side, and the other half I got to do both pieces of wood with this here. So I'm going to do it with this one, and once I get it all cut out like that, I'm going to put the blank, the one that I cut out, on top of the other one, of course opposite, and trace it. This way they'll fit like this one did. You want to make sure that they fit good. Then what you do is, I'm going from end to end. I want to stop about halfway through. This is about 23 inches now, going diagonal. So 23 inches, we're looking at about, what's that, 11 and a quarter? 11 and a half, right? So 11 and a half is about, that's about halfway. So what I want to do here is on this side, I make it go right to the edge. This ruler, by the way, is an inch thick. So I'm going to go on the inside, okay? And I'm going to go down to about, like this here, to about 11.5 inches. And I'll show you how I did this in a minute. And then on the outside, over here. Because what I want to have is a mark going from here, but leaving an inch. You need about an inch here, which is the width of my ruler, see? And an inch down here, which is the width of my ruler. And this was just an overdraw, so don't look at that. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I need to get this square, okay, up here. Let's see if I have a regular square edge. Hold on one second. a big one, but it's a good one. So what I need to do now is, see that wood's there, line this up here, right on the edge, and because this needs to be cut at a right angle like this here. See what I did there? And also on this edge. So I bring it right to the end. Oops. There we go. Oh, come on. Okay, so we're going to be cutting it square like this. Sorry, I know there's not a lot of room in here. I've been cutting all day and there's wood everywhere. Now over here in the middle, I'm going to have a square. Remember I said this was about the middle, so about from here to here. Okay, and that has to be square as well. So let's go with this line. Okay, and on this side, let's see. And what's that hole going to be for? When I cut out one side, it's going to go here, and the other side, it's going to go here. And that's where my wedges are going to go in, all right? And that's pretty much it. So now I just need to cut. This is the part I'm going to cut off. I'm going to get rid of all this material. So I'm going to have it like that there. And so in other words, this is going to be here. Now you see how, though this one is a little bit different because it was another piece of wood. But you can see basically how it went over here. And here's that area, that hole. Okay, so you can see the hole right there. All right, and then it's going to come down all the way to the other piece of wood. Now, the other piece of wood coming in will have this piece that will go here. And what it'll do is going to actually, you can see it's going to lock on here. So one piece is going to be here. When you push the wedges in, it's going to tighten them up really tight like you saw over here. So the wedges are basically going to push this apart and tighten it up real tight. Plus the wedges, like I said, go right in there. Ain't that cool? Of course, once you're done, you got to make some wedges. So I just took a couple of pieces of wood like this, so I can push them in and wedge. And as it goes, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now I noticed most of the places where I saw that did this, they just put it up that way. But I'm going to be gluing it at the same time. So you want to make sure when you put it together that it's perfectly straight on both sides, okay, the windage and the elevation, so you don't have a warped board. I'm going to do that outdoors where I have a lot more room because there's not much room in here. Okay, so I finished doing one of the 2 by 8 by 8s, and I'm going to put it on top of the other piece of wood. So let me just show you what I did. There's the 2 by 8 I just did. Okay, I cut this piece out. In fact, see, there it is right there. And all the way down to here. So what I did was I put it on top of this piece of wood. I got it lined up. I used a straight edge to make sure it's straight all the way down, because you can see it goes all the way over there. Okay, and now all I do is I trace it like this. So I have the cutout. So now if I cut this one out just like this here, and of course, oops, I'm glad I told you that, because I need to cut this one a little further. So right about here. So I have room for the wedges. So when I put the wedges in there, it's going to push them apart. So we're going to cut this one like that. And that's all there is to it. Actually, did I just do the opposite of what I wanted to do? Let's see. That one's going to be cut that way. And they're going to be locked in. And then, nope, that's right. Okay, it is right. So when I get it all done, just like the other one, I push the wedges in and we have the perfect long piece of wood. With this, I'm going to be able to have my nice long, as you can see on my plans, this is to make those nice long parts of the frame right here, and the strong back right over here. So this one here I'm doing is going to be for one of these. It's actually two of these, and then this one here is 20 feet long. So I'm going to be doing that with two of my 2x8 by 10s. Okay, so that's going to be kind of fun. So that's pretty much all I have left to do in the shop here. I'm going to cut those up, get them fitted. They're pretty fit. And then I'm going to get them outside. I did have a place I told you to be able to put this all together outdoors, and that's changed. Lots happened since I spoke to you. That's changed. I no longer have that place. I do if I want to wait a few months, but I want to get a lot done this year. So I'm going to go right on the other side of this wall. It's very cramped. It's outdoors. I have a lot of room to work front and back, but not much room on each side. You'll see. I'm going to work on getting this strong back set up out there. So that's how you scarf a large piece of wood. If you'd like to see how to scarf something smaller like plywood, okay, you probably need to know how to do plywood. I actually have a plywood jig. You can't really see it, but it's way out in the corner, standing up on the end, right above those two red life preservers. But if you click on the video, I think it'll be up here. I'll leave a link for the video, or if not, it'll be at the end of this video, one of the next videos to look at, on how to build a really good looking and good working plywood scarfing jig. And actually, my table saw broke. I got a piece coming in for it next Wednesday, and I'm also going to show you how to make another jig to be able to jig smaller pieces of wood, scarf smaller pieces of wood like 1x3 strapping, because I need to have those about 30 feet long, a few of those, and I'll be doing that in another video. I actually have a great jig for doing that, but I'm going to build a jig for you with my new table saw. Don't worry if the part doesn't work, because I'm wondering, we have no idea what's wrong with the table saw. You push on it, it starts, you take the button off the push and it stops. Anybody knows, let me know. So anyways, Craftsman is sending me another button, and if that button doesn't work, I'm just going to go out and buy another saw. So with that, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.